Can you please introduce yourself with your name and ethnicity?
My name is Brock, and I'm white.
Where are you from, Brock?
I'm from Alabama. I define trauma as something that happens to you that affects or changes the way you view yourself or others perpetually. So this is like, it changes your perspective in a negative context, I guess. And do I define it the same as my parents? I'm not sure.
Do you think trauma always has to be like a big event, or could it even be like small daily interactions or stuff like that?
I think over a long period of time, small interactions can be traumatic, yes.
And do you think your family would agree with that statement?
Do I think they would agree?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah?
It was talked about. My sister dealt with some mental health issues and had some medication. But for the most part, I think my mom kind of took the perspective of just deal with it.
You grew up in Alabama, very southern. Do you think that had any influence on like your mom's perspective or your dad's perspective?
So my parents are actually from California. So they grew up in California. I think their environment could have influenced the way they think about it. I think my mom, she had to like put herself through school because her parents weren't really present. And so I think that's kind of how she adapted that mentality of like, well, it's worked for her just to push through all of these different things. And so that's kind of what she preaches.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I think
Yeah.
I talk about it relatively normally if it gets brought up, you know. Talk about it. Yes, I think once I got closer to God, I became more spiritual, and I think that opened up a lot of avenues for me to actually consider a lot of the different components that mental health deals with, I think.
Could I ask you to expand on that? Like give a view?
Yes. So when it comes to how I used to view things, it was like, oh, these things don't affect me, or oh, like that doesn't hurt me, or oh, I don't think a certain way about something that happens to me. But that was like a coping mechanism that I would tell myself to try to run away from how certain things would make me feel. And so now that I'm more spiritual and kind of, I think more sober to those different things, it's helped me to recognize if something does actually affect me and to deal with it in a more healthy way rather than just kind of ignoring those things. And that allows me to, you know, get open to people, and then also deal with like if it's a situational thing, like get surrendered to where God has me type of thing, or yeah.
Yeah.
I think not necessarily silence, but I think independence. So like people would say certain things, like my mom and dad and sister and brother, but there would never be any sort of like expectation of help or any expectation of things like that. And so everyone just kind of dealt with their own things, like perseverance, you know, but not necessarily silent about it.
Like you could speak up on it. Like if you felt like if you were having a difficult time, you'd be like, hey mom, hey dad.
Yeah, but it was less so like getting open to get help and more so like I'm struggling, I'm powering through, kind of like as like an excuse of like this is why I am the way that I am right now, instead of like a can you help me type of thing. So I don't think it was silence, but I think it was not healthy.
Yeah. Do you think that's something your parents learned from like the way they were raised? Do you think like it deviates?
Yes, So I think because my mom never got help, she doesn't expect it. So I think that's just kind of the culture that she imprinted onto me and my siblings.
Yeah.
I think something that my mom would always say was like, if you're gonna do something, do it with 100%. Like, don't do something half-hearted. She didn't say half-hearted, but don't do something halfway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that stuck with me because I don't think that I enjoy doing anything not to the best of my ability.
For sure.
So I'll go hardcore on whatever it is I'm doing.
For sure. That's all the questions I have for you, Brock. Is there anything else you want to add, say, inquire?
Yeah. Believe in the gospel, repent, and get baptized.
Period. Thanks, Brock.